We're told that President Trump has been watching closely, which is no surprise. He said he would be as he returned to the White House this morning from New York City and the UN meetings that he was presiding over. John Roberts joins us now from the White House. John, anything you can tell us about the reaction, or what is the mood over there?
Right now, the mood is wait and see, I think. The president came back to the White House about an hour ago, went right into the residence. He had been watching aboard Air Force One. The Marine is not out in front of the West Wing, so I don't think the president's in the Oval Office, which means he could still be up in the residence watching, although the president of Finland just arrived, so not quite sure what the president is doing at this particular moment. There were some reports that the president was raging about the testimony. I'm told that's not true. His reaction to what he's been seeing, it was not characterized. The person I talked to said we're going to wait until the end of the day before we comment. We want to see both sides on all of this. But I get a sense that the people here at the White House who are just members of the staff, and as well the people who are involved in the confirmation proceedings for Brett Kavanaugh are looking at this as sort of a emotion versus fact type of scenario, that there are a lot of gaps in her recollection, Christine Blasey Ford's recollection of what happened back in and around 1982. But at the same time, she's very emotional about it. And one person I talked to here at the White House described her as a very credible witness. So they know that probably some damage is being done to their nominee right now, and it really will be up to Brett Kavanaugh to push back in a compelling way against what has been said this morning. I think what it's going to come down to is what many of your guests and analysts have been saying this morning, is you're going to have 11 Republicans who have to decide whether or not they want to vote for this nominee, because you already have 10 Democrats who have decided they are not going to vote for Judge Kavanaugh. So I think at this point, the jury is out on how this is going. They clearly think, though, that she has been a credible witness there before the Judiciary Committee. And now let's see, after she finishes up, what Brett Kavanaugh has to say when they come back on the other side.
John, there's another event that did not happen today that was going to be big news today, and that is the president meeting with Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. The press secretary tweeting out, the president spoke with Rosenstein a few minutes ago. They plan to meet next week. They don't want anything to interfere with this hearing. Obviously, that was a choice to put the focus back on Brett Kavanaugh here.
Yeah, you know, when we heard earlier this week at the UN General Assembly, after that whole kerfuffle about whether or not Rosenstein was going to get fired on Monday, that the president was going to meet on Thursday, and our spider sense sort of started tingling and saying, well, isn't there something else that the president probably wants to pay attention to on Thursday? So the president did talk to Rosenstein. It was either just before he left New York or on the way here, and said, let's push it off until next week. There's too much going on. And the sense we got from the president yesterday at that press conference was that Rosenstein may keep his job. The president said it's not his preference to fire him. I think what the president wants to do is have a good, long chat with Rosenstein about what exactly was going on last year. That New York Times story that was out last week said that Rosenstein was trying to gather support for a 25th Amendment removal of the president, might even go so far as to wear a wire to get some evidence on him. So I think the president's going to want to hear a thorough version of Rosenstein's story. By the way, we did find out as well that the vice president didn't speak to Kavanaugh this morning, but has spoken to him in the past couple of days about his pending testimony before the Judiciary Committee. Brett, Martha.
We shall see. John Roberts live on the North Lawn of the White House. John, thanks.
Thank you, John.